Hey, good morning. It is day 5 in our journey where we're looking at the parables of Jesus, basically in Matthew 13. And just a bit of a review. Jesus told these parables because he was sifting his crowd. He was building up those that were his, clarifying their understanding of the work of God in this age, at the same time sifting those who were following him at that time for wrong reasons. Some were following Jesus for no other reason than it was exciting. The miracles that he did, the crowds that he drew, so people were just there, kind of like a circus atmosphere drew them. There were others that came as his followers because they thought maybe he was the Messiah, but they were still looking for a political, militaristic Messiah, someone that was going to use force, miraculous force, to make Israel the head of the nations and bring all the rest of the nations and the peoples on earth in submission, forced submission to the ways and work of God. But that is never God's way of working, because anytime you're forcing someone to change their behavior, it is not going to last. You don't have their heart. Jesus' kingdom was one of personal trust. Jesus was not interested in political change. He was not interested in social justice issues. Why? Because they do not last. You can only change people permanently when you reach their hearts. You win their trust. Then you have transformational power and allegiance. So he was affirming his followers about the nature of the kingdom of God that God was building. At the same time, he was sifting out those that were following him for the wrong reasons. Okay, let me get today to our parable. It's once again in Matthew 13 in verse 44. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought the field. Here again, a very simple parable. Jesus is talking to people, saying that those that see the kingdom of heaven for what it is, those that see that God someday is going to transform not just our individual hearts, lives, bodies, but this entire universe, and he's going to bring in an eternally new realm of living where there's never going to be again any sickness, sorrow, pain, death, hatred, injustice, war, all the things that we accept as normal and inevitable. Those will be gone. The kingdom of God, where God's will is done by everyone all the time because they want to. They love him. They love his righteousness. They love his will. That kingdom is going to be worth everything. And so in this little parable, it's really simple. A man finds this treasure in a field, and the treasure is so magnificent that he goes and he sells all that he has to buy the field so that he can have the treasure. Jesus is affirming his followers that those that have trusted in him and that are following him, they have found the treasure. They have found the most priceless, most valuable thing in life. A little story on myself. It was 1973 when I became a follower of Christ, and the thing that was crystal clear to me at that time, and of course I was a lot I had to learn, but the one thing that was instantly crystal clear to me was this: if I could be in an acceptable relationship with God, in other words, if God would accept me, if God was on my side, if God was willing to forgive me and take me as his own, the thing that was crystal clear to me, that was more important than anything else in life, more important than anything else in the world. Because when you have God, you have with him his kingdom, his mercy, his promises, his forgiveness, his gift of everlasting life. I understood that Jesus, that God meant more than anything else. I never looked back. I'm not a perfect man by any means. I've had my ups and downs and falls and scrapes, but that has never changed in me. I knew that Christ and his kingdom was truly the most important thing in life, and that has stayed central and been retained in all that I've done these years. I hope so that that's been the same with you. Your